Hello, hello, and welcome back to uh, why are we not strewing? But good morning, Oni. Good morning, Fire Bernie. Luna, how are your eyes still not closed? Wait, what do you mean how my eyes still not closed? Which eyes? Also, why are we not? Okay, there we go. And we're gonna need to load into the stream one. It's so early, I can't even open mine yet. I mean... Time zone? I think, maybe? No, I'm not gonna lie, I am quite sleepy. It's been... I had a lot of fun yesterday. Yesterday was King's Day and I went to the market and it was all great and such, but I tuckered myself out. So I'm gonna be even more slow today than I am usual. But we're gonna do our best to be smart cookies. Which is... We'll just see how that goes. So... Things. So I've been thinking. Basically, these guys can only exist or can only work for us if it is cold enough. It needs to be below 0. Just... these guys need even colder. These needs below 14. These guys... these guys can go to 10. And they could go above that, but they're not going to be happy, so we want to keep them under 10. These guys... on the body temperature... It's... Oh, external... It's... Okay, so its comfortable body temperature is between 30 and 70. But it's probably because it's got a thick coat. Because, like, it is currently at body temperature of 50 and it is in a cold area. Minus 100 and... Yeah. So I assume this guy needs to be in pretty big cold because it's at 50 in minus 37, so... Can probably... It needs to be in the minus 2, otherwise it's gonna overheat for sure. Hello, how are you? I'm in the same time zone, remember? No, I don't. I'm that sleepy. I forgot. I'm doing well. Hello, Lobdal. I'm just very eepy because I did a lot of things yesterday. Fun things, but still things. Look at this. Interesting diagonal. So yeah, basically... These guys need to be in sub-zero to work, which means I cannot have the base, like essentially that means I cannot have the base heat up until I have an oxygen solution outside of these guys. So we cannot turn the base into a warm base, which I do think we eventually want to do because this is not like, I want to have like plumbed bathrooms, but that cannot work until I can have... Why are you... Get that out of the way. I cannot have that work until... Yes, Luna, words. Until it's above 0, because then otherwise the water will freeze in the pipes or freeze in the bathrooms, like in the machinery. So basically this cannot be upgraded until I have a stable oxygen source that comes from not these guys, and only then can I heat up the base. And if I do heat up the base, I'm gonna need to grow, if I want to grow these guys, which I do think I probably still want to, I'm gonna need to have a section that is not the base, or outside of the base, or like I could theoretically, I could move these a little bit to this side. Like I could technically have this entire... If I want to turn it into a proper farm, I could have like an airlock in there and keep it cool. But I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to have a double, like a cold section in the base that I don't have to insulate. I think it'd be better to have like the base warm and then like a section outside of the base or next to the base that would be kept cool. Choo choo, you carry train. Yes, choo choo. Also, we don't have great power generation options because the wood burner barely gives power, takes a lot of wood, and generates quite a lot of carbon dioxide and like heat, like compared to the usual coal generator. You know, that's your standard power source that you just chuck into your base until you're ready to move your things outside your base. Takes a lot less carbon dioxide generation, like a lot less. Double the power, same amount of heat. So like if I chuck this thing in, I mean right now we are not doing great because our carbon dioxide is all flowing here and our oxygen generator plants are all here. They're not in the lowest section, so I need to put them lower into the ground, or I need to move them. I'm actually thinking of moving them because I'm not going to turn this into a farm. I just realized, so they can just be anywhere. As long as they're not in the way, basically. That leaves us with... We could do the petroleum, because we could punch ethanol in there. We have an ethanol lake there. I'm not sure if I'd want to use that. I think I might want to keep that as a reserve, because I'm not sure what else ethanol would be good for. So I probably want to generate my own, which refinements, which we can do with the ethanol distiller, which takes wood. It also does take power. And the thing is that it'll generate ethanol, but it'll generate quite a bit of carbon dioxide. So I don't... And a lot of heat, so I definitely don't want that inside until I'm ready to heat up my base. And even then, I don't think I'd want to have something like this inside my... I mean, this one isn't as bad, and it generates polluted dirt. Yeah, then we could theoretically do that into the petroleum generator, which will generate more than enough power. The thing is that it'll also really generate a lot of heat, and it'll generate quite a bit of carbon dioxide. I mean, if I'm placing that outside my base, the carbon dioxide is the least of my worries. Outside base gases may, like, do weird things. It also generates polluted water of quite a high temperature. Like, it says at least 40, but it's hotter if the building is hotter, and the building will be hotter. Like, even if I put it in a cold area, that area is not going to stay cold. And it's been a while since I built complicated things in oxygen not included, so I'm not sure how best to build that. I would be inclined to put, like... Thing is that I'm running out of space here. I'm not sure if I'd want to put a reduction block here, or if I'm then like blocking myself in too much. I know I don't really want to mess with the ethanol yet, so I don't want to like... I mean, I could move that, but I want to have a separate area. I could, like, if I wanted to make a block... I do have like a bisline here, and I have the neutronium here. So if I close this off, I could like keep all the heat inside, and I've never made a hot block before though. And you'd want steam turbines for that, and we do not have steam turbines unlocked. We need to have radiation research for that, so that might be... That's like a little far off in the future. We wouldn't be starting out with a hot block, that's for sure. We also have all this salt water, which in terms of like a oxygen solution, if we'd refine it with the desalinator, we get water, salt. Yeah, so we get water to do stuff with, which we could then lead to some electrolyzers and make a spawn. The thing is that if we do that, one, I'm gonna need to look back up how I'd construct a spawn again, because it's been a while. Secondly, I don't remember if I relied on gold for that, because I don't have gold on this map. I only have iron, so I need to be very careful that I don't have anything that will damage when overheated. I'm not sure, like, I don't think I can make it out of cinnabar even, because cinnabar, if it gets too hot, is gonna, I think, melt. Like, I know if it's like, if I refine it into mercury, the mercury is gonna melt. I'm not sure if the cinnabar is more stable, but... so that is a thing. And the moment I generate that kind of oxygen, I need to basically be ready to switch my base to warm. So I already... Like, I need to start building with the whole hot-cold distribution in mind. Like... Otherwise, we do have the hydrogen generator that... I mean, you don't have to only use it in spawns. And we do have a hydrogen vent here. Right? Did I remember that correct? Yeah. I need to look up how to make a vent tamer again, because again, it's been a while. But hold on. Can I? Yeah, it does erupts with hydrogen gas at a pretty high temperature, is the thing. So that does mean I'm going to need, if I'm going to put stuff there, I'm going to need to put stuff there that can deal with that kind of heat. I do have the entropy nullifier there, which I could technically run. If I make a spawn here, I could run my excess to there and then cool the oxygen before pumping it into my base. I could also run the excess of the hydrogen vent there, but I think I'm not going to have excess from there. I'm going to just do it with the spawn, because you eventually have excess hydrogen from the spawn. Thing is, for all of that, there is going to be a moment where I need to switch from a cold base to a hot base. And when I do that, I need to basically make sure that everything that I need to have in the... everything that needs to be cold will have a separate area, so I'm gonna need to do something smart. Hello, Maugan. I'm thinking through all of the stuff that I'm gonna need to do, and it's going to be quite a bit. Like, we're gonna need to do something smart. Also, I probably want to fix this situation up. How's my automation? I have a cycle sensor. I think I'm going to just deconstruct these guys. I love your emotes, they're so cute. What we're going to do is I want a mechanized airlock here. And I basically want a cycle. Oh no, hello Justice CEO, welcome in, welcome in. Let me give you a shout out. It's been a while. You were playing Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I have no clue what it is. What kind of game is that? Hello everyone, my name is Luna. I'm a variety streamer. I like playing strategy games and colony sims, and currently I'm breaking my head over Oxygen Not Included. I've had a long day yesterday and I'm very tired, and I'm like laying out all the troubles, all the problems we're going to need to find solutions for without actually having a solution yet. But at least we know sort of what we're gonna need to fix. So that's progress, maybe. New RPG just came out, and it's so aesthetic. Ooh, that's always very dangerous. The very aesthetic, pretty RPGs, because they're like they're just gonna consume every waking moment. I actually I started playing a game just in my personal time that it's been consumed. Like I was like, yeah, I'm gonna draw more, and then this game came along, and I'm not drawing. It's unbelievably pretty. Oh, I'm gonna need to look that up. If you have to ready to run because you need to eat, sleep, or do other things, then please go take care of yourself. But otherwise, I'd love to have you here, and I'd love to hear how things went. And that goes for anyone coming with. If you need to go take care of yourself, please do that. But otherwise, yeah, welcome in. I hope you guys are having a good time. I'm struggling, so if you... I'm gonna be a little more frazzled than usual. I had a long day yesterday. It was King's Day, which is a national Dutch holiday. It's technically... Is it officially? I don't think it's technically on the birthday of our king. It's supposed to be, but like the last one, when it was the queen, it was on a different day. But basically, there's like a market near my where I live, and I go there, and there's many yummy foods and like a flea market, so I buy things, and I had a lot of fun. I have a new hat. I have 2 new hats, actually. I got some shiny new things, and I got some shiny things for friends. And I had yummy foods. I had churros and kebab, which his birthday is today. Yeah, that was it. I was like, it wasn't on the day itself. It was like slightly... well, I didn't think I was a hat person. But then I started fitting hats, and... yeah, Sunday most stuff is closed. Yeah, that was the thing. 1 a.m. dinner is how it goes. I gotta eat the food. I have really long... Oh. Well, go get yourself some food. 1 a.m. dinner is... Well, I mean, as long as you get enough food and get enough sleep, then it matters less when you do it. It's consistency that matters. Luna and kebab. It was very yummy food. And you found good... Exactly. I got yummy food and good loot. Yeah, actually, I needed a new cap. Like for a while. Like, I think it's just a cap in English. And because the old cap I had was like really old. I've had that one since I was like 12 or something. And I've been for the longest time, was like, I really need a new one. So there was this hat stall, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look, because I don't go out very often, and I definitely don't go out in places where there will be lots of hats to fit. And there was this one cap with like a checker pattern on it, and I put it on, and people joked like, yeah, like a Miss Watson. I looked very detective, and I ended up going with that cap. I really liked it. And I think it was one of the... And I got a sun hat. I wasn't expecting... I put it on just for the fun of it. Like, as a haha, look at this hat. It's probably not suitable for me. And then it suited me really well. So I got a surprise sun hat. Now I just need a sundress to go along with it. I didn't expect me to be a headwear person either. I was actually looking for like a fedora, just for the fun of it. That's why I wanted to go to the hat stall, but because this, but those didn't actually suit me very well, or at least the ones that were at the hat stall didn't look right on my head. Yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a thing here, and then we're gonna put a cycle sensor to have it closed like once a cycle, and the rest of the time it's gonna be open, and that's just going to basically reset it to a vacuum inside. Without us needing to manually do it. Usually I like putting that above things. In this case, I'm gonna probably just put it somewhere. Where do I put it? Here maybe? Probably. Just gonna be annoying if I do need to put something back then. So maybe I'll put it there instead. Usually I do this when I have like the jumpy through liquid locks, but I don't have enough different types of liquids to make it work. Because this is already risky, because the brine will freeze if it gets any colder here. We could use ethanol, but I guess we could use ethanol and liquid mercury. But even then, I'm not sure if I'd want to make a liquid log with that, because I need to use brine at somewhere in the stack, and the stack is going to have very small amounts of the liquid, so any amount of cold will make it freeze. So I'm curious how it looks now, because damn, I'm really flabbergasted. Yeah, I wish I could show it too, but it's gonna be kind of hard without showing my face, so yeah, we're actually gonna put this one here instead of here, in case we do need to do stuff with need to put liquids back. I'm also gonna want to probably mop this before we put that in. Well, the thing is with the liquid log, it's very cold in both sides here. So even if I were to get the salt water in the liquid log, liquid logs usually have very low volumes of liquids to work, which means the moment, like, it is very susceptible to temperature changes. Because what I do, I'd have like a double liquid log that is 3 high, so I'd have it like 1 reseated in the ground, and then 2 here, and then down would be where the roof is, and then they just jump through without actually getting wet. And then have this a mechanized lock in the middle to basically reset the middle parts to be completely vacuum, which is especially handy when they're with these new, like, because these didn't used to be there when I were playing. These are new, but they breathe out carbon dioxide with that. So this won't always be a vacuum. So this will reset it to a vacuum, which is nice. The thing is that the liquid logs are very, like, really, really small quantities. This is like a... Yeah, this is already a pretty small quantity, but like in liquid logs, it's about 30 grams or less, which means it very easily changes temperature. And because it is this cold, salt water will freeze at minus... Yeah, so salt water will freeze at this temperature. The only reason it isn't frozen here is because there's like water on top, like the temperature exchanges here are too warm, but here it will freeze. So, and if one of the parts freezes, then the entire liquid log fails, and you'd have gas exchanges. So that's why I'm not doing... This is a safer liquid log to have, and even this isn't exactly entirely safe, but it's safe enough because as you can... Oh, that's not what you want to see. Technically, liquid logs... so this isn't the liquid... Yeah, so that's why we're having oxygen escape. Technically, you can... These kind of logs also work with carbon dioxide. It will not stop temperature exchange. I mean, a full liquid log won't stop that either. But it will stop gas exchange if you have carbon dioxide in the bottom. In this case, it failed and our oxygen is escaping. So we're going to need to do something with that. We're going to just need to remove it and have it flow back in because the pressure here is lower than there. So maybe we'll just do that, actually. We'll need to figure out the pressure stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so no oxygen should flow in here, and actually it shouldn't... I'm actually not sure if this will probably let carbon dioxide through. Yeah, but why are you cute then? I don't see how that has to do anything with anything, and I'm not. Also, hello Luna, hello Kaino. Now don't show your face, but seriously, what a hat. I wasn't... I was putting on the hats for silly, haha, look at me wearing a hat, was that not a hat person reason, and then it turns out I am one. The world is full of surprises. Yes, I do. I got mad plenty of times when working in vacuum, find out some CO2 made inside, only realized was because the mask is deep freezing. Yeah. Gotta either not give them masks so they need to hold their breath, or and pretty much like be like, no mask for you, hold your breath, because they will otherwise breathe out carbon dioxide. Okay, one do I definitely, because these guys aren't going to be enough, especially if the carbon dioxide is gathered here. This is like future project. I don't think I want them on that right now. I think we'll just put them in planter boxes for now. And yeah. I'll leave the power line here though, just in case I need it for something. We do have some polluted oxygen all around the base, which is not nice, but it is what it is. Well, that's not how this is supposed to be. Gosh dang it. Alright then. Do we have... Hold on. We can now do these kind of shenanigans, where we relocate them to where we want them and then we open them. Okay, perfect. At least it's cold. There's loads of CO2. The yummy food won't spoil too fast. Yeah. Used to be deep freeze here, but it is not that cold anymore. But still, it's refrigerated. It's sterile. Foods will stay good for a while. Also, this thing is new for me, the spice grinder. So I'm curious what it'll do. What type of kebab did you get, by the way? I'm not entirely sure, actually. I saw the yummy. It smelled good. I was like, get me some of that. I got on like a piece of bread, like a, you know, sliced halfway. Chicken, lamb. Ooh. I'm pretty sure it must have been chicken, because it didn't taste like lamb. Yeah, okay, the Turkish bread. Yeah. Yeah, I think it must have been chicken, because it didn't have a very strong lamb flavor. It had white stripes in the meat? No, it was quite... With feta and fries inside? No, I had it with like... it had a slaw, and then like a purple coleslaw. Like it had just like a salad with... I think it was just green cole, and then like some tomatoes and like... What was the other thing in there? Other veggie. I forgot. And then like garlic, yes, garlic sauce and sambal. Onion? I'm not sure if it was directly in the salad. Copy that. No feta, but cheese. But they didn't offer that. They just had... They basically, they could make you a Turkish pizza or like kebab. And then you could choose if you wanted garlic sauce, which is like, the answer is yes. And then like the slaw stuff, and I was like, yes, but not too much. Because I was like, I'm not gonna, if you're gonna put that much in, I'm not going to finish it. Which I, even with slightly less in there, I had to eat it in 2 parts. Turkish pizza is good as well though. Yeah, it is. But like, how many, I don't ever get to eat fresh kebab, where like they had the whole spinny thing, you know? So I was like, no, I'm gonna eat that right now. Enough garlic to keep the people away. I mean, I wish I had so much garlic. People would just form like I'd walk through the masses and people would just part ways like the Red Sea. That would have been lovely. Maybe I need more garlic. Yeah. I'm still... So, like, I've basically concluded what is going to be needed. Also, let's keep researching. Also, we're gonna need to figure out a way to do the applied sciences research, because that is... I spotted it earlier. Yeah, that's needed for the steam turbine. So if we're gonna need... Or, well, we're going to need a industry block, and the steam turbine is just basically necessary to cool that. Oh, uranium research approaches. Yeah. I guess that's its way. I mean, we can research it. Is there anything else we'd like want right now? No. We do not have reed fiber for any of this, so this could be maybe useful, but... Ooh, bottle trainer. Bottle fill, interesting. That could be useful. That all seems stuff that I can't access yet. This is also going to be... I mean, eventually we're gonna need that, but... This might be useful. I mean, might be a little too early for us. Let's research the radiation things. Yeah. We need to start making our way there. But also... So basically, I know these guys and their food, and probably these guys as well, like just looking at what his body temperature is whilst it's this cold. I'm gonna need to keep them at the cold section of the base, and I'm gonna need to think of how I'm gonna do hot cold sections. I could maybe... And so I'm gonna need to get this here. Like maybe I could turn everything from the left here into the cold section. But the thing is then, how am I gonna do that with the duplicates? Because they're going to be constantly cold there. Hello, Ender Arrow. So how am I gonna do that? And am I going to... Am I going to need to go like double suits to basically have them go into the cold section and then be kept warm? Because even with the... Yeah, so you get frost resistance from warming yourself up in the wood heater. And then you have the warm coats. Which can I look down? Yeah. I still don't fully understand how the calculations behind the insulation on the clothing, because technically in real life, if you have something really hot, you'd also want insulation to like keep your own body temperature cool, I think, but this keeps them warm. But I can't guarantee that everyone that needs to go into the cold section would have a warm coat. Like, if I'd eventually make my base warm and have Atmos suits to go outside, I'd probably want to switch them over to having, like, pretty pink clothes. Like this one, for example, or, like, other pretty clothes to make them just happier overall. So, would that mean that if I make my cold section of the base accessible through Atmos suit only? That seems also annoying to deal with. this would definitely be part of cold section of the base. And I did have a liquid lock idea here to keep it cool, but if it's just entirely the cold section, then I wouldn't need this whole thing here. I'd need that here and then just insulate it. The thing is, I'd probably or if I make a cold section of the base, I'd want like a ladder fire pole situation in the cold section, so I'd need to move this. Like this wouldn't be a very efficient layout. But then if I wall this off, then having one all the way on the left here is also a little excessive. Like it'd be better to just block this, have them go like so, and then so I did make a cold section of the base. So I basically have this like this entire side. I'd make it insulated tile pretty much, and then just insulated tile all around, and then of course insulated tile around. So I'd have an insulated and then section separating them, and then I'd have a section where they enter, which I need an airlock to prevent temperature exchange. Potentially Atmos suits before then, so I'd want to give myself enough space to add Atmos suits. So I'd probably not want the... I mean, I could always move the airlock, but if I could keep in mind how much space I'd want... but the egg incubator are going to stay in that part, aren't they? Yeah, that's also the tricky part. Yeah, I suppose the egg incubator should stay there because that's where I'd have my animals and I wouldn't want them to have to go all the way around. And we'll eventually use automation, I think, to grab the eggs, put the ones that we want to incubate here, and then have the rest of them shipped off to the kitchen. So that'll just go through the wall, through the cold hot section, so our duplicants don't have to run all around for it. Because right now I just have them in here because they'll go bad on their own. They'll be cracked. Basically this is at a lower priority than these ones, so there'll always be eggs in here, and everything else can go bad and be moved into here. And this stuff, I guess I'll just keep it here and then have like a auto, what are they called? Auto sweeper in here that'll just grab this, put it in there, and if it turns into egg, sends it over to the kitchen. So that'll be an easy solution. Then all this food stuff would need to be here. This stuff can also be in the cold section. It's just how am I going to do it with our ladder stuff? Because basically if I make this entire if I were to make this entire thing like an insulation, like I'm probably gonna need not to do it double, like one layer of insulation is fine. The one thing is it's gonna be hella ugly, so I wouldn't want this part of the base to be something where my duplicants run very often. I don't really want... I guess I could do double layer with one insulation and the second one being a nice wall for like the living area, and then just keep the not so pretty insulation on the cold section where it's just going to be mainly ranching and stuff. The thing is that it is kind of wasteful to then have like a ladder I usually send my eggs in incubator transformation, so I get meat instead of cracked eggs. Just a little... Oh yeah, I do an critter evolution pool usually as well, but these guys, I've noticed, don't actually give that much meat when they die. Where was it? Yeah, they give 160 cow meats, which is exactly as much egg as they give. Meanwhile, I have this nice little recipe of souffle pancakes that I can make with eggs, so that's why I'm actually going to not have these evolve into meat, but I'm evolving them into egg instead. But yeah, if I'm gonna have that wall section here, then having like a up and down part all the way on the left here where I'm not going to have any movement through is going to be wasteful of space. Yeah, I can give them pancakes. Me too. I'd love some pancakes. I always like yummy food. And yeah, that's the one thing. If I'm going to wall this off, then I don't really want a fire pole and a ladder here because this is just going to be a dead end. Which, yeah, on one hand can be useful, but I think having the up and down section here and then just this all be dead ends would be most functional, which means that if I'm gonna do a wall section, I guess it would be here. Or I guess this would be the insulated wall because I want all these to be 64 tiles. No, big. I mean, I guess this one could become bigger. Oh, and this one can also become bigger. How about the kitchen? Okay, so the washroom is 64 tiles. But the kitchen can be 96 tiles. The laboratory can be even bigger. And the recreation room can be even bigger. That is a slight inconvenience, potentially. Because if I decide I'm gonna put this insulation here, we're just doing a lot of thinking right now, thinking before we build. If I decide to put all this insulation here, I'm basically saying all of these rooms are going to be 64 tiles wide and no wider. Which means if I did end up wanting them wider, that's going to be really hard to do because either I'm going to need to change my entire like part that is insulated. I'm going to need to widen them now and assume that I'm going to use all that space. Or I'd have them widen them to the right instead. So yeah, all a bit tricky. Oh, think, then build. Yeah, exactly. Measure twice, build once. Or cut once. That's why I keep messing. Yeah, you know, I've done that before. I was thinking this time I'm gonna try something radical and think... Oh, wait, why are all my locks failing? I swear this one was good before. Okay, we're gonna solve this one and this one first, and then we're gonna solve that, and we're gonna need to do something smart with the oxygen, because it's in all the places we don't want it to be. I do like the idea of having basically the change from the hot part to the cold part of the base somewhere here. So basically I don't need the lock here, and I could have this connected to it somehow, and I probably wouldn't want this to go down here then. Lock yourself. Yeah, exactly. Keep yourself locked. Also, I do want to have good access to it. Like, I don't know what this is, but I feel like it's important, you know? Something about a teleporter. Like I'm probably spaced out stuff. If I'm gonna make a it is. Yeah, I had a feeling. Don't reveal the details. Keep being mysterious about it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure having easy access to this is important. But I might not want my base to go straight through it because then having the carbon, like having a carbon dioxide pit is great and all, but I need my carbon dioxide right now to be on these guys. So, yeah. And the question is if I want this in my base or if I'd want this like connected to the outside base section, but I guess that'll be tile on a little ice. Is there the thingy inside it? Got a conveyor loader. No, I can activate it, but I need to send a duplicate there. On the right. The thingy? Oh, yeah. The guy is in there, the anti-entropy. Yeah. Yeah. That'll potentially be useful for cooling oxygen. I was thinking, yeah. I do have a hydrogen vent here. I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna use that for power. And if I'm gonna, because I'm probably gonna make the spawn with the salt water, I'm gonna have extra hydrogen. I could technically send my extra here, run the oxygen to that, and then pump it up. But that's gonna be future stuff because basically, so the issue is I eventually want a warm base because I can't have nice bathrooms unless it's above freezing because otherwise the water will just freeze in the pipes or in the machinery eventually. Like apparently you can do tricks with it not freezing if it's a small enough amount going through the pipes, but it will go in the building and it will sit still there. Like you will have freezing damage eventually. Like it's just gonna happen. So it's gonna need to eventually be above 0. The thing with that is that these guys cannot be above 0. So if I'm going to transition into a hot base or a warmer base, I'm going to need to have a oxygen solution ready. Yeah, especially since it doesn't use that much hydrogen to work. Exactly. So I'm gonna need to basically have a stable oxygen source outside of these guys when I transition to a warm base, which will be in the form of a spawn. It's been a while since I made a spawn, so I'm gonna need to figure all that out. I'm gonna need a desalinator. I'm gonna need to put that into the spawn. I'm gonna have extra hydrogen that I'm probably gonna send here, and I'm gonna cool the oxygen and bring it up there. The thing is that I don't have Atmos suits yet. You don't need that to create a spawn, so we should be fine. But the moment we do that, we are going to go into hot base territory, and I'm going to need to have a cold section of the base for all of the food and the critters. So I'm gonna want to set that up before the transition. So that's the big thing. I'm gonna need to make a split, so I can have a hot part and a cold part of the base. So I keep my food supply safe. And then we can start working on the spawn. Yeah, not true. I could send it through here, so... But even then, like, I don't wanna... The thing with pumping oxygen into the base from a spawn is that unless you have, like, late game setup, it's going to be really hard to do precise temperature control. Like, I'm just gonna basically send the pipes through here, cross my fingers, hope it'll be a decent enough temperature, and then chuck it up in here. So once I set up a spawn, I'm basically gonna need... I want to be ready for it to become too warm for the plants, basically. And too warm from the animals. So that's why I wanna transition into the split right now. The thing is that, where do I make the split? And if I make the split here, where do I have the transitions? Good morning, Lactose. I'm thinking very hard. I'm using all of the brain powers to plan this out. And then hoping that it won't go horribly wrong. And also, with weedwort planted and with fertilization, you can regulate the temperature with a setup that doesn't require too advanced things. Yeah, but radiation. I don't feel confident enough in me handling radiation to like attempt that, to be honest. And even then, I still think the first thing, like our main priority should be temperature splitting the base because... True. And then I don't have a good power generation because that's my other thing. I need a stable source of power generation. And I'm thinking of using this, but it's been a while since I made a... It's just been a while since I played Oxygen Not Included, so I'm like, how did I do that again? And also, is my iron going to be able to withstand the heat? But I think either way, no matter what direction we go in, we will need a temperature split base. So I think that is the most logical thing to work on first. Because everything after that is like, the sooner we temperature split our base, the easier it is to basically make decisions from there. Because the more we build, the harder it's going to be, or the more work it's going to be to temperature split after that, because we're going to need to move a lot of stuff around. The only thing is, like, I just checked, basically all of these rooms actually can be like a lot wider, which means if I put the wall here and I ended up deciding, oh, actually I want this room to be 96 tiles instead of 64, then, well, I can't expand to the left anymore. Like here, it's going to be like, okay, this is annoying. I'm gonna have to rework this vertical section, but it's gonna be fine. Whilst if it's temperature split already, then it's gonna be a real pain. So the question is, do I preemptively expand these? I'm also gonna need to decide where my up-down section is gonna be for the temperature split itself, because we also have some ads coming on. Because what I like is I like to have my vertical section and then have like rooms to the left and to the right of it, because that's the most efficient. The thing is with the temperature split is I know... Okay, hold on. We're gonna need to have ads first, and I'm gonna try... Okay, back. Where was I with my explanation? Hello again. Hello. Okay, so basically, because these rooms might be 96 wide, I mean, oh my god, Luna, hi. Hello. I might want to like expand them preemptively. Yeah, I like for space efficiency, I like having my vertical section to be in the middle of the rooms. Then again, now I'm thinking about it, if I'm gonna have these potentially be like this wide, then if I'm going to... It might actually be worthwhile to have a vertical section to the left of them after all. Because say they have something they do all the way on the left side of that 96 section, and they're like, oh, I want to hop down real quick and grab a bite or something, then having them have to walk all the way to this vertical would take a lot more time than having them be able to hop to the left and then go down that way. Plug in the hive mind to find solution. Yes. Totally fell asleep before, so I was snoozing and woke up in your voice and it was the most... Aw. I'm sorry I woke you up again. So yeah, maybe we do want a... Like if it's only gonna be 64 wide rooms, then having the vertical shafts here, like a second one, is excessive. If it's gonna be 96, then having a vertical section on the left side wouldn't be excessive, although In that case, I'll probably only make it 2 wide. Not you, don't feel bad. Oh. Yeah. We'll only probably make it 2. Although, I do like making it 3 wide. I think I would still make it 3 wide because then it'll give me the option to put statues and pretty things in later to make it still look nice. So, yeah. Which case, if we're gonna say, okay, these rooms are gonna probably be this wide, and then, hold on, I need to, there, and then this is gonna be 3, and then we're gonna have a 2 wide wall section here where this wall is gonna be pretty wall and this wall is gonna be insulated wall. Because we could technically just make it 1 thick, but if we're gonna try and have the inner base be as aesthetically pleasing as possible in the future, so planning it for 2, at least be 2 wide is probably just good, and 3 wide is going to be annoying because then you'd have to remove a section of the wall to run anything through. So 2 wide it's going to be, with the pretty section being on the right side. And then this would be the earliest area where we basically have to decide where our vertical is going to be in the cold section. Because again, it's more space efficient to have the vertical be in the center. But I don't think our cold section is going to be so big that we're going to want rooms on both sides of a vertical. Because what we're going to have in our cold section so far, from what I like, we're going to have ranches and we're going to have farm. And nothing else. Nothing else is going to have to go into the cold section. Because everything else can just run on warm. It's just going to be the plants and the animals that need the cold. And nothing else needs to be in the cold. Which means we're going to have 96 wide or high section. So that's the other tricky thing. Usually I use my farms or my ranches as like a storage space section. It is a little annoying because then you have to go all the way in. I actually recently saw something where they did it vertically, but it wouldn't really work with this setup because I made it extra wide so they can have like plant stuff. So I don't need to go and drop in food. They can just eat it themselves. Which I definitely want to do even more if I'm going to have a hot and cold section. So like eventually I suppose you could automate delivering food. But I don't want duplicants to have to go all the way into the cold section to keep delivering them food. So the less duplicant work it takes, the better. Which means because what I saw had like something like this wide and then machinery, and it would and that was for hatches, so they didn't have a sharing station, so that wouldn't quite work out in terms of yeah. So then if we're just going to assume that we're going to have the ranches be like this, wide, instead of tall, because I don't think I could do tall very easily with, well, still keep my things. And what am I going to use the excess for? Because I can't run a vertical straight through it, because then that's going to connect the rooms. But I don't really want to use it for storage either because it's going to be in the cold section, which means it's going to be hard to access. Unless... So right now I have it planned to have the exit area, because I like working with just one exit area. The exit area for the Atmos suits to potentially be here. But maybe I don't have it here and I have it on the left side instead, because it looks like I have more space to the left here. Because I'm not seeing any neutronium here yet. So, and I want the exit area to be on the side where I'm gonna have my industry block. I kind of wanted it here because that's closer to the central area, so that's the only thing. Because if I'd have this be all wide and then have the Atmosuit area, basically just this entire lower section, or, well, let's see, from what area would it be again? We'd have, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. So from about here, this could be like the Atmosuit area, and this could be where it goes into the next section, where I could make this a little wider, because this might be a little too small. I could have this lead into Atmo suits, and then after it goes into Atmo, go up. I want a double airlock in that case, though, because I wouldn't want I'd want the cold section of the base to be separate from the outside, because the outside I'm not going to temperature control, so if it gets hot, cold, or like temperature exchanges because of industry, then that's fine, but I'd want to keep the inside controlled. But I could have just one Atmos suit thing, have a area that goes up, and then an area that goes out. Question is, like, do I want to Atmos suit into my cold section of the base? It would protect them from the temperature exchanges, and it would make it so I don't have to worry about them wearing warm clothes for it. That would be like a future thing, though. And the only thing is, like, Atmos suits do slow them down, unless they have the right training, which I guess I will eventually get everyone the right training. Lots of planning. Lots of thinking and not lots of doing. I'm sorry for that. So let's see. We expand this to here. Now we do 1, 2, 3. And then we have 2 here. This would be the cutoff. Then the trick is where do I have the ladder? Because either, yeah, I probably want the ladder to be on the close side of this. Because if I'd have it on the other side, then I'd have to walk 96 tiles, then go up and then walk back. And I prefer all of the food stuff to be on the right side, so I can easily, I can have a short distance to do that. So I think, so I go here, 1, 2, 3. Then we have the walls here. Let me just signal that way so I can easily keep track of it. We'd have the walls here, which means we'd want our airlock somewhere here or here. If we... And it basically has to be before, because the moment we step in, to our cold section of the base, I basically want immediately to have a vertical and then have the ranches on the left side of that vertical. Because yeah, otherwise, unless I do tall ranches, which I don't know how to do with these, like this width of space, they're gonna have to walk very far to the left before getting to the section, and that's we don't want that. We don't want extra duplicate travel time. And now the other question would be, because I thought I want my Atmo area on the right side, but I might actually want it on the left side. Now what I could do is have it all go into the cold section and I guess put like the ladder from the here too and then have another airlock there. Or I could basically have this lower part be going straight out, have the cold section of the base, like we'd still have this separate. We wouldn't keep that in the cold section of the base because then we'd have basically a section for the Atmo things run through the middle. We'd have the change from the warm to the cold on this layer instead. That might be a better idea. So this would be the wall. We'd have our airlock here. Or yeah, because right after the wall, I'd want to go straight up and I'd want to build my ranches here. So we'd have our airlock here. And this would just not be a super wide area. I think we might have figured it out, guys. And then we're going to have our verticals here and then we're going to have our ranch going to the left. And then probably have like our food situation at the bottom, or our plant stuff, or like plants in the ranches. So it might not be a farm, but I guess we don't really need to. If we just have enough plants, we don't need to do the farm thing anyhow, like the extra fast growth. I think we might have it. So we'd have like the insulated wall here and the regular tile here. Yeah. We'd have an up and down section here, and then we'd have an up and down section here. Okay. Okay, we got a plan. Took an hour or so. Now we got something. So how are we going to go about this? So we know we want... Oh, wait, hold on. If we expand these rooms to here, and then have our up-down section here, that means our... Oh, don't do that. That means our airlock situation would have to be on the left side. Which would mean if we lead into, we'd have like areas on the right of that are ladders and such in our cold section. Oh, I woke up for dinner. Okay. It's good. Good that you gone up for foods. So we either could have like a little bit of extra area to the left for the ladder in the entire hold section, which would give us with a lot of strange extra spaces, which I don't think we'd want. Or we'd have a little bit of extra area to the right in our cold section, which I guess we could use for the incubators. Yeah, I guess we could make use of it. We could put incubators there. We could put storage there theoretically, or like plant stuff. So yeah, we'd make the airlock to the left side of it. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be the floor area, which we'd have like run all the way there. Although we'd want in our cold section, we'd want them to be able to run pretty fast, so we might actually want this to be one lower. And this be what they run on. And then this area here will only be 3 wide. Or 3 tall. Yeah, so we want to make a ladder section here, probably first. And we'd want to determine how wide we're gonna want our airlock to be, because then we're gonna need to move the entire ranch to the left of where the airlock and cold section put this at the height, it'll end up being. So yeah, we need to figure out the width of the airlock and then plus 3. So let's see, this is going to go like so. I'm going to have like a thingy here. So then eventually I'm probably going to want to make the jumpy airlock. Like the tall one. But I don't think... Let's see, we got brine, mercury. We don't have ethanol yet. We could technically break in here. I'm just not sure how stable that's gonna be. Let's see. Um... Hmm. I could, because it's gonna be stairway, I could start them off higher. They'll go in like here. Um, we need double one if we want a proper airlock. Or what we could do is start them about here. No, I think we'd want them to start them. Then we... basically have our tall section here. And I usually like putting like the, because I do the same as this thing, I'd like putting the cycle thing up here then, usually. And then I close it in. And I could have this bottom section just 3 tall instead. That could work. So then, if we're gonna do this, I think we could just have our ladder and fire pole right there. And that's just going to be too wide. And then our branch stuff would just start immediately over here. We do have this thing, which I guess I'll, like, I have to demolish this because it's just in the way. Yeah, there's no other way about it. I'm always, I feel bad destroying things. Like, I'm like, no, I want to keep it as it is. But, like, yeah. Just hope I don't regret removing that. Like, technically, I can apparently recharge it. Not that I've ever seen how that is, so maybe I'll just find another one. I don't know if they have multiple on the map that is smaller, but I know there were multiple on the big map. And then from here would be this wide. Okay. So we need to get this sorted. We need to get these guys moved over to there. So this guy would be there. Which means these guys would be there. This is 6. I'm gonna wanna have some catching stuff because we're gonna need to fill this. I am probably going to just have them try and get to the ethanol. See if I can nab some of it somehow. Oh, hydrogen also gives minor eye irritation? Oh, moderate eye irritation. Oh no! I'm gonna do something sneaky. I think we could even uproot these guys. I think we're making more stuff than we really need. Also, we got this thing. What's this? We got Underdog gym socks. Breathable socks that do nothing whatsoever to eliminate food. Oh, we got socks. Oh, that's not good. Oh, we don't... We... Don't want that in there. Okay, we also have a lot of this guy. I'm gonna turn that off for now. Oh, skill point. I... I guess I'll wait till I have 2 before we get into the other suit thing. Can we... Gonna just steal the oxygen, that's all. Got it over there. Could put it in ceiling. We could just also just drag it all the way to here. Then we don't need to build extra stuff. This will just follow this thing, and then we'll put. Oh, no. Don't want that. No squiggles. There. We have another thing. What do we got this time? We go. Ooh, pretty. Must agree. It does really elevate plant display to have the plant suspended. Yeah. I don't really want them socializing here. This was just so they could cool off. We'll have the oxygen and carbon dioxide be able to go down here easier. It should help. There, good. And we'll have so this will create a vacuum and it will close for a little bit every day to reset that vacuum for me without me needing to look after it. And we'll pump oxygen from there into here. Mainly to fill our Atmo suits, but also it'll just pump the other stuff. And because this is purple, this slightly less purple should go in here. I guess we'll just... Oh, that's too much liquid? Okay. Just get one of those in there. Okay. Really? Really now? Okay. And one build right now, and then it should split it up, and then we can remove it. Or it'll move it to one section, but... And then... Still too much, but we'll... Really now? Well, at least it will be more of a proper lock. guess I could remove this and try mob then. I guess that is kind of important. They put up the... Okay, could we do that and then empty you? Empty you. Material Science Research Technology. Materials Science Research Capability Materials Studies Terminal Manual Red Bolt Generator. Okay, we need to find stuff for you. Refines radioactive ores to generate rat bolts. Emits generated rat bolts in the direction of your choosing. Okay. 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 So this requires uranium ore and power. And then we get depleted uranium, and this one refines radioactive ores. And then okay. I'm not entirely understanding it, but I'll roll with it for now. Okay, lovely. It's not a vacuum lock, but it is an airlock. Could eventually pump oxygen from here to a safe. See what we got. We probably don't want extra duplicates right now. Yeah, no. I mean, kill, frostproof, but you're tidying and you have noodle arms, so we'll go with these guys. And also probably just for future stuff. We have 2 extra beds, we'll have 2 extra food sections. We'll let's do some of that. This guy in there. This one is very important. Oh, we got this thing built. What does this do? Freshener spice. Slows the decomposition of... Okay. Mealwood seed salt. Well, I don't have mealwood seeds. Bucketeer is my Boost the piloting abilities. Fungal Spore and Sucrose. I don't have Fungal Spore. But I guess it'll give me... Oh, wait. When did I put that on? Sudden eclipse. Strengthens even the weakest of muscles. Water wheat. Technically, eventually, I might be able... I do have water wheat on this map, but iron, which is... I'm not sure about that. Blossom seed and slime. Okay. Interesting stuff, but all kinds of things that we don't have use for right now. And we have more than enough biocapital skewer, so we're not gonna make more for now. One more side on this. Oh. We have another very hot tater tot section here. Here's the neutronium. It does seem like it's well surrounded by abyssalite. Are you out so late? Do I have you on a different schedule? No. Oh, hold on. Food poisoning. What happened? How? Oh, and we have a lot of it. Oh no, he's frozen. He's frozen in food poisoning hell. No! Poor guy. Okay, he's better now. Colony achievement earned. They got better. Thank goodness that we had some of those pills lying around. But yeah, we're gonna... Like, unless we want to throw away all of this food, we're gonna be playing with food poisoning for a bit. And also, I didn't build a... whatchamacallit pile. Compost. So either we widen this by... So I'm pretty sure I want the deodorizer just straight on there. So we need to widen this by 2. The alcohol lake is available. Party time. Yeah, I want to put a mesh towel in there and then do some sneaky mopping there to get like access to some ethanol, and then put that here for like our words, Luna, words. Liquid airlocks. So what I want to do is I want to build... I'm gonna just place you. I'm gonna build... some of you guys there. And... I'm deconstruct all that because we're moving it all to the left. Liquid log made of ethanol. The tubes would love passing through it. Yeah, I mean, ethanol and alcohol are two different things. I don't think you actually want to drink the ethanol. I think the ethanol is the bad one. I am not liking this purple. I mean, we should have decent... Methanol. Oh, methanol is the bad one. It's the good one. Okay. Ethanol is the good one. Methanol is the bad one. Good thing you warned me in time. I was just about to make a grave mistake. So why are we not building this? Okay, I guess you're just storing stuff. Ah. Nice attribute increase. So could we... Like, the whole oxygen thing is important, guys. Got some ants coming in. Sneaky. Okay. Oh. Okay. Oh. So, Radbolt generator, Radbolt reflector. Attracts nearby radiation to generate Radbolts. Emits generated Radbolts in the direction of your choosing. When you set the Radbolt threshold is... And the set... Collected will rapidly decay while this building is disabled. Redirect Radbolts from Radbolt generators. Okay. Huh. So it's like a... Like those old-timey mirror puzzles in video games where... If this isn't a bit... In those old-timey mirror puzzles where you like have to... Like redirect the light or the lasers like into the... Huh. Okay, we're gonna need a bit more of this. Also, wanted to check a thing about Cinnabar. Oh, I don't know what those do. It's a conductive metal that can be refined into mercury. It's suitable for bowing power systems. Melting points. Okay, so its melting point is relatively high. And then it'll turn into mercury gas. So it is stable-ish. Okay, compared to... So its melting point is 583.5. And then what is the... Okay, Wolfenrite's melting point is... Or where it transitions to molten tungsten is a lot higher. Okay. And then... Okay. So maybe it isn't ideal to make hot things out of. Or machinery that it needs to interact with high temperatures out of, because it will melt. Gotcha. Let's continue with the next research. Let's... Oh, wall toilet. There's very few germs. Huh. Empties directly on the other side of the wall. Well, that seems interesting. I want to check that out. Maybe... Oh, we probably want to... We clean this. For the next cycle. I'm actually gonna put this lont. This one can be higher. This one can be higher. No. Hey, hello Kong Gaming, welcome in. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, so unless we get like... some chlorine in here, we're just gonna have the risk of food poisoning until... because of our one whoopsie. And I don't think we're gonna go through all the trouble of putting chlorine in there. I am, how have you been? I've been okay. I'm very tired today, but that's because I did a lot of fun things yesterday, so... You know, I don't think it's... I think it was worth it. But it does mean that I'm a little more... peepy. And they all had mild exposure to food poisoning germs, so... And we got some food poisoning cures from the printing bolt, so it should be fine. And they're taking their sweet, sweet time building anything. we like get a infection going on? Oh, these guys got on there. We wanted them for all of this, but this is like a future project, so we're just gonna have them vibe there for now. It should be fine. Why are we not doing that? Oh, right. These are all going to be... It's going to specifically be dirt. Actually, we'll make this be this and we'll have them do the sweeps. And then... this will also be dirt. And this will be... this stuff. And won't be high priority, so I don't, like... go do that right now. And we're going to move all of these shenanigans here. Actually, do this one there. That one there. And that one there. This will go there. Oh. Oh, his eardrums popped. I'm sorry, buddy. How did that happen? Okay, mechanical serve bottle filler. Automatically stores piped liquids into bottles for manual... Oh, nice. Those liquid to the storage of the linked rocket. Okay, that's rocket stuff that I'm not there yet. And... I don't think I've ever used these before. Like I never got... By the point they were introduced, I didn't have a base. So that's interesting. You probably want to build a recreation room around that, though. I also rarely ever use the jukeboxes because of how much power they use. Like, that's a later thing. Also, juice. That one is new to me, too. Okay, mushroom, bristleberry, meal lice, and then a lot of water. So that's not this kind of biome. Hello, the Owo Uwu Rar, you cute. You cute. That is a name and a half. Can we not... Can we not carry more of these? Is that not a thing we can do? We're just gonna go a little bits at once. You do have cute emotes. Peek and note. I hope you're doing well. Oh, we're going to copy that to there. Deconstruct all this. Little ill. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better soon. See, we got a bit of carbon dioxide here, and then in a bit it's going to close, and it's gonna open all on its own. And oh shoot, the water is gone. I was like, it's gonna be a vacuum, but no, it ain't. Our stuff got gone out. This is why you need something that's not going to freeze. Yeah, because it's cold. And I don't want to draw oxygen from here. Yeah, I'm gonna need them to maybe get some ethanol in there. Look at this guy go. Music mokes, but yeah, 122 greeting. Exactly. Like that is you have a industrial area with electricity setup kinda situation. Look at him go. I didn't expect him to go take the entire lake. He is like, no, give me that alcohol. Give me that sweet, sweet ethanol. How much do we have? I think we have enough. I think we have enough. Yeah, I think we accidentally created a very, very large amount of ethanol. That is a lot more than I bargained for. Okay, what we're gonna do is first we're gonna fix up this situation with these fellas. I'm gonna stop down because they keep like grabbing bits and then doing it. I'd rather them do the whole thing. Oh, he is slow. Okay, we got that. I want ethanol, please. Sweep. Oh, they're getting popped eardrums here. I guess maybe I want to get a little bit of a airflow tile situation here. Slow and steady, because we only want a little bit. There we go, that's good enough. No, I'm gonna relocate that there. And I would... It's not a high priority. That is. Oh. Thank you. No. Mop that too. Hold on. needs a little bit of water. There we go. Free water wheat growth. And that might actually be too much. Yeah, hold up. We're going to sweep. And we're not going to empty it. We're gonna... and turn it off. Sweep that. And we should have a properly safe lock now. That is not going to shave. I'm still looking for a building operating dupe, because for like building the automation things, the auto supers, they need to have like a high operating thing, but to make it so it doesn't take forever, a building thing would be good too. In this case, none of these guys look good. We'll take the pemmican. We also have a lot of sleet wheat grain. It would be great if we could store that in a different way. Like, can I? Aha. Medicine doesn't need to be stored in here, so I'll just store it in the refrigerator that we keep turned off. Okay, we'll steal all this sweet, sweet oxygen. Probably want to do something or other. We have the brine there though, so that's going to be annoying to deal with. See. Would really like these planted, you guys. And only then I want those guys moved. I also think we might be able to dig up that one. I think we're overproducing food still. Hello Nuna, I'm here to wish you good morning and ask you about your car's extended warranty. Well, you see, I don't have a car, so haha. I'm going to turn it off for a bit because it's barely pumping anything. Okay, we're going to need a widening in here. Either like the left side or the right side is going to need to be 3. And because we have some guys here, I think we pretty much decided that this is not going to be a... Again, remove that. Yeah, we pretty much decided this is not going to be a area for which we're gonna turn into reserve. We got a reserve there, so we can basically just remove all of the things. And I guess we'll want that guy on the... Actually, we'll move this guy in here. Soon the dupe's base will turn fine. They're fine. They're fine. It's fine-ish. Oh, they're all eating the pemmican. Nah, they can eat the pemmican. And they should all be moved to there. We'll move this thing in there and we'll have this all open so we have better oxygen distribution. We got the bottle drainer, liquid intake fitting, liquid output fitting, and wall toilet. So... Okay, that's also new to me. 6 refined metal, but it drains it directly into liquid. That is very nice. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that is really nice. Oh, plastic. You know. Okay, it takes water. Empties it directly on the other side. That's interesting. Wonder... I guess that might be good for like... Because you can't make a good toilet with that way. How... Okay, so this takes about half the water. And... It does say... It produces more food poisoning germs. But it produces less... Interesting. Also, I have... Apparently I have very fancy... For those who really got to go... That's funny. I got fancy toilets apparently. And then the other thing is... Okay. So this is for rocket stuff. And it's stuff that I'll have to figure out in the future once I get to space, which is not now. I think we should wait with getting to space until we got our base in a somewhat stable place. Oh, this is where they're popping their eardrums. Also, stuff froze again here. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna do something risky. I'm going to allow the oxygen to flow through. It's found pretty early and could help you with oxygen placing. Have you researched the oxalide new thingy? Oh, yeah, the wall sponge thing. Yeah, now you say that, I probably should put that down, shouldn't I? That's gonna want to use over here. And... probably over there too. Also, there we go. Oh, we had like a hold on. Okay, no wonder everyone's having popped eardrums. I had so much oxygen in here. I didn't realize... Oh, because of course this thing was taking it. So, because the... Okay, I was accidentally stacking oxygen here far more than I realized, because we have a very thin layer carbon dioxide that is not overpressured. This could keep releasing polluted oxygen, then this thing would take it and it would just... Yeah, so look at that. I mean, that looks pretty neat, doesn't it? You can just see it spread. Yeah, I think we just solved our oxygen issues. Little did we know, our oxygen issues were all solved by our dirty water. Look at that spread. I can breathe, I can fight. We'll live. Yeah, you can look at it, you can see it like move. I love the deformations, like the swoosh look. Yeah. I mean, I did earlier at some point in stream say that we could use the polluted oxygen and clean it for a solution. I guess we sort of did that now. So yeah. The oxygen coming from pea water? Nah. We cleaned it first, it's fine. It's cleaned pea water oxygen. It's all good. Yeah, so we're moving these guys over here. Let's see what other research. Burn. Some of these things might not be... I mean, I guess this, having that ready is good. Most of these things is just like having it researched and ready, because a lot of these things we are not going to build yet. I guess having this ready for when we build the SPOM is pretty important. And surprisingly close to how NASA actually does it. NASA approved, guys. Oh, we don't... Hold on, we don't have the simple... These... Let's go directly to this. So we don't need to click research new thing for a couple times, and they'll just do all this. And I will leave that guy alone for a little longer, because I want to do my split first. I'm wondering... Probably don't want to put a gas pump directly in here. But I can probably use this guy again, and because this guy is pretty much donezoed. No, I'll just let it spread that way. Maybe I put a thing in there. At least we got a better flow here. Like, that should really, really help. Also, this thing consumes rat bolts. 10 units per research points. Disciplined operation, skilled operation. So I gotta place this down, and then I gotta shoot rat bolts into it from these guys, and I'm probably gonna need to ping pong it. I do have these guys, so... Is that enough rats per cycle? Huh, interesting. The radiation coming from the uranium here is, like, less intense than the radiation coming from right beside the these guys. And so Zed put a... These words are radiation spicy. Moet gaan. Bye bye. Thanks for hanging around. I hope you had a good time. Maybe I'll see you later. And so if we put a rod bolt generator here, it does require quite a bit of power. So right now we have these guys we sometimes turn on, but we don't have such. And how much power do you cost? You're not as bad. I was afraid to open the uranium nugget the first time also, but it's okay actually. I mean, I'm not in any rush to open the uranium nugget, like, not gonna lie. Oh, look. Food. Let's see. You know what? I probably do want a proper airlock here so we don't have all of that escape. So what we're gonna do is... only we have too much brine here. When can we mop something? Like, what is the limit? Does it say? Does anyone know the moppable limit? Like, would splitting this across 2 tiles work, or would that still not? I'm gonna just try. We're gonna deconstruct it, we're gonna mop it, and then we're going to put a guy here. And a guy here. Okay, can we mop this? Yes. Okay, good, good. Thank you. And we got all those guys. This will be the first time that I can actually use ice blocks legitimately. Like, I mean, as long as we keep the base cold, we could actually have ice blocks. I think under 150. Yeah, I recall being under 200 something. That sounds logical, but yeah, it worked, so we're good. So we're gonna replace that with ethanol. I do feel like... I mean, I guess you would still be getting cold if you're drenched in that. Like, it... Wait. How did you... How? What? How did you manage that? You just sunk into the floor partly? Because you're not tied up. You have snow tiles on your base? The base is gonna melt away. Oh, I mean, we're not changing it to hot yet. We'll be fine. We're gonna need to change this though. That's gonna be, yeah. But I mean, right now we're still like, look, we're very chilly. Look at how shivered it is. I mean, it's kind of warm up here. It's almost. almost sort of warm here. But yeah, that's why we're gonna make a hot and a cold section. But yeah, seriously, how did you do that? Like, you're not trust. That looks different. I guess we're gonna help you that way. Yeah, and our accidental perfect oxygen generation box. So we don't have enough oxygen here. I'll turn this on for now. Like, I would love to wait for a little more. Why are you going all the way down there? There's a place to warm yourself up there. Deconstruct that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we're going to fix this up first because we don't want to leak our good oxygen in here. So we're going to sweep ethanol. Keeps having chilly surroundings. You're also... Yeah. Need more warm stuff. I guess I could maybe give... Like, have Gosman have the... Because Gosman is usually near something warm. I could switch that around. I could tell you to get the snazzy suit and... you, now you're walking around so much, get the warm coat. And then we go sweep this. Sweep that. Thank you. I get like a... Just do it now? Come on. Now. Now. Come on. Thank you. I'll just empty that. Can deconstruct that thing. Thank you. Mop that up. Remove these fellers. And we'll have a proper airlock to keep all of the good oxygen in. And I probably... So I want to kind of make sure that they're... just getting as much good decor as possible, because that just helps with morale. And I'm not entirely sure what the mechanics are behind them when they get like their super boosts, but I know it's high morale, so if I can just keep that high, then that's good. And we'll also just replace some of these snow tiles whilst we're at it. And it looks pretty. And we got textile loom, carpeted tile, and drywall. That one is new. Oh! Hold on, this also gives the decor? Oh, that is... Huh. What if we... Can we put... Hold on. Could we put like... And then... Huh. That would make adding decor in like certain areas a lot easier. I mean, why not? I'm getting completely distracted, and I know we're busy with different projects, but also I want to know what this looks like now. I want a decor max. Yeah, like I barely ever reach maximum decor in the bathrooms because it's so hard to like fit stuff in there, but with the it like having tiles behind there, it's actually doable. Look at that nice oxygenated base. Just gonna watch this be prettified for a moment, and then we're going to continue with our base split procedures. I really like how this wood tile looks. I'm definitely gonna do more of that, like wood tile on the bottom and then like a different kind of thing on top to create like a... I don't know what it's called, but it looks good. I like how this looks. It's very nice. I didn't know I needed this, but it's very pretty. We even have, like... I mean, we don't have it in the corner here, but, like... near the toilets. Not all the way at the bottom. But we have, like, more decor boosts near the toilet than I think I've ever had. So that is... that's new to me. It does look a little busy with the... vines. But I think we're gonna keep it lying down. Okay, back to what we're actually doing. So we have a proper airlock here now. Hold on. Oh! Yeah, of course. Yeah, liquid chlorine. I mean, yeah, I knew it was chilly here, but dang. I guess it just like wandered its way over here and then just got coldified, got zapped into liquid. Liquid you become. Liquefied. Liquefied. You shall become liquid. Okay, we probably want to like mine out and deconstruct this section before we do the whole split, otherwise it's gonna take much longer to take things back out. Because yeah, we are going to have to deconstruct pretty much most of this. I don't like doing that. It feels weird to doing that, but am I going to regret deconstructing this guy? Like, is that a really bad idea? Because it's just gonna be in the way. It's like right in the middle of where two of my branches would be. Well, no. I guess we could do ladder and then the fire pole. No, we planned it to be... hold on. There. And then 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so this could be an open section. So we could have the ladder indeed be here. I can draw straight lines. Yeah. I guess this one we might actually want to be... because they're gonna walk over this, so this isn't gonna be insulated. This is gonna be... neither is this one. I'm gonna go walk over this, jump over these guys. I mean, I guess I can leave it be for now, but I don't think it will stay that way. And then we basically want this to continue that way. And we know this is gonna go here. Yeah, this is gonna be where the wall is. This is gonna be where the insulated tile is. So actually, for the incubators, having, I guess we'd want the incubator section to be on a larger size anyway. Because like if I'm gonna have, I'd probably want all of the incubators in one line and have the sweeper there. Spawn time. Hello Flynn, welcome in. Not quite. So basically, the reasoning I have now is these are what is providing my oxygen, and this apparently. We accidentally set up an we had like 15k oxygen set up here on accident, and people were popping their eardrums, so that's why we got this. And now we're decently oxygenated again. We were very purple, but basically these guys require cold. So before we switch over to oh, the power of the P generator, yeah. Before we switch over to having a warm base, because eventually we're gonna want a warm base just for the toilets and just to make the duplicates not be constantly cold. But before we do that, we'd need to have a split in a hot and a cold section. So if we make a spawn, our oxygen is going to come out warm. Even if we try and cool it, it's going to warm up the base pretty rapidly, probably. Like I don't think I'll be able to cool it down, even if I do shenaniganery here with the anti-entropy nullifier. It's very hard to control the temperature before like late game solutions. Well, I did get to battle the asteroid a lot. Yeah, so I was like, okay, once we heat it up, we're going to need an oxygen generation from outside, which would be the spawn. But then if we do that and make everything warm, we need to make sure that everything we need cold would have its own section, which is going to be our ranch and like the pineapple bush and potentially other... well, these guys we can't grow, but I imagine there's other things that need cold. Frosty's really cool, but also really hard. Yeah, I was like jumping into Frosty after not having played Oxygen not included in years, or like over a year. The wizard cold bulk tank and the oxygen needs to be pretty cold, too cold even if you leave it without regulation. Yeah, so that's the thing. Regulating the temperature is going to be tricky this early on, because I don't have a energy solution either to like have an industrial area. Not era. I mean, we will be getting to our own industrial era, but so basically my logic was I need to split my base into a hot section and a cold section for like the cold section for the ranching and the growing of plants. So I'm working on splitting that up basically. We're going to insulate all this from the rest of the base, have like our own and we're gonna move it all to the left because these actually want to be bigger rooms, so we're gonna keep space in mind for that. And also we have ads coming in, so my apologies. I'll be right back. Twitch demands these. And I'm back. Yeah, and for now no coal or oil. Exactly, coal is like the thing you'd switch onto usually in most bases. And like burning wood is very inefficient. It barely gives you any energy and it generates a lot of carbon dioxide that I have no way of getting rid of because the water would freeze in the pipes if I were to run a carbon skimmer. And then no oil, and we do have some ethanol but not a renewable source, and we could technically make let's just select all these so I don't have an exclamation mark there. We could technically refine our wood into ethanol, because we do have these guys, although... Wait, why is it crowd? Oh, wait, hold on. Did you guys... Some of you fellas just dropped some eggies. I should grab that though. These do give us wood, which we could change into ethanol and put through a petroleum generator, but I definitely want to set that up outside of my base because it generates a lot of heat and I have no good way of cooling it, and I have no, like, that's gonna be a lot of pain, like, right now. We're not in need of that much energy, and setting that all up and then doing something with all of the waste product is... I'm not even sure where to start right now. Refining into ethanol indeed, and some polluted dirt would be sublimated to polluted oxygen. The aloe vera... Yeah, well, you see, it is very inefficient though. It needs a lot of wood. Like, a lot more, I think, than I'm generating. And it barely gives me any power. At that point, I'd rather just have my guys run in the treadmill for a bit. Save and then check out what we got. Oh, we got more skills. I don't need you improved farm. I am thinking of getting improved carrying. Yeah. Although I kind of want to save for then... Yeah, I'm gonna save your skill point to get there. And I think I'm gonna probably save it. Let's see. Ooh! Frost resistant spicy diet. Ooh. Okay, hold on. I love the look of that thing. But also... giving them all frost resistance for a little while? Oh my god, they already have 30 morale. I like my morale maxing. I like giving my duplicants good lives. I'll show you how I got it. I got a... I always try to build my base in a way where I have a nature reserve on their path, basically. I can't, like, part of me wants to go for the pom knit suit, although it doesn't actually have higher insulation, it's just very pretty. So I think I'm gonna go for this one, because I think it'll... yeah, so what I got right now is I got the barracks, I got a nature reserve, the latrine, which I usually would upgrade by now, but cold means no water. We got a great hall, and then we got a recreation room. And currently, we just got some pemmican a little bit ago. That would have boosted it. Apparently, we got some souffle pancakes from some eggies. And now we'll have the other thing, so... you have to give them so much more. Yeah. But until it's warm, we can't improve the bathrooms. It's all good. Actually, hold on. Huh. I don't recall you. Are you new? New for me, because it's been like about a year. You seem new, or maybe I just don't remember you. You would have been useful in some of my builds. Way back when. It's not new. I mean, listen. Listen. I'm an old player. I played for when Gaiuses were still stuck on the wall. These guys didn't exist yet. And like, what else? I mean, I played since early access, so like, maybe new from an infinity ago. I think from an infinity ago. Like, it's been an infinity ago since I played. You've been resurrected. Yeah, I'm here, like, just a vampire coming back from a centuries-old sleep, being like, dang, sliced bread. That's a nifty new invention. Like, when do you guys think that? And they're like, what do you mean sliced bread? That's been around for a while now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to... I really hope I do not... See, I'm very hesitant destroying anything in this game. I know it is more efficient to be like, nature, out of the way, we are here. I mean, the base shows player who played the game a lot more than years before. What do you mean? Like, is that a... Do you mean that as a good or a bad thing? I still feel like I'm not doing a bad job, but I don't think I'm doing a stellar job either. Like, they're alive. They're only occasionally getting food poisoning. Because we had a little whoopsie. I used to, when I played, like, the only reason I stopped was because my computer couldn't handle it and my save kept being eaten by a black hole. So then I kind of stopped. Not a bad thing, but this base will die because Frosty plan is punishing for a first run. Well, I will make it. I will live. I'm stubborn like that. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll figure it out. How am I going to hate myself if I destroy this? Like, I don't... Not too many spoilers, but spoil me on this one. Am I gonna hate myself if I demolish this? Because it's in the way of how I'm gonna plan things, but... You know? I'm on Spaced Out with Frosty, neither of which I have played before. You should keep it. Okay. You shall live this time. Everything else can go, though. When you generated the map. It was a spaced out generation. Look, it's... We are running out of space on, like, this side already, and... I think I... Yeah, spotted a neutronium here, too. Which is also new to me. Like, I knew it was gonna be smaller, but it's still weird. It's, like... It feels wrong. Look at them, pretty. I got sidetracked a little bit when I discovered we had, like, things for the wall now. So I gave them a very pretty bathroom area. That might also be why they have high morale. Cause... wait, is that here? Let's see, superb meal, great hall, nature reserve, interested skill learned. No, the decor isn't even that high. Damn. Yeah, I guess they did change decor around. I'm talking early access now, that's not for you guys. One small because there's a feature in Spaced Out you should use. It's maybe the only one you'll get. I personally only got... Oh, shoot. Okay. That's different, because, like, in the old maps, or at least what I'm used to, these guys were all over the place. Alright then. You've suddenly become a lot more valuable. Like, damn. That is a little annoying. Yeah, but the old map is like 3 times the size. Still, it feels like the moment you started exploring, you just keep running into these guys. At least in my recollection. Could also be that they changed generation. Yeah, I don't think I recall, I'm pretty sure this was a thing, but I don't recall ever using it. I don't think I ever got one recharged. In any case, that's going to mess with our planning a little. This section I can remove though. You should run into 3 max per game now, and that's on classical. Yeah, I definitely, maybe I'm misremembering, but I could swear there used to be more than that. Then again, I'm also pretty sure that from what I recall playing, they used to give different boosts, but again, I'm working from very, very old. I I played mostly early access, and then a little after that, a lot of things have changed. I remember, I think one of the last, actually I might not have been playing anymore. Yeah, so I played before they changed the thing where tubes can like pull things from the corners of walls. So I remember loading into an old save to like show something to a friend and my entire food system breaking because they cannot grab things from corners anymore. And putting food into a vacuum does not automatically deep freeze it. And I'm sad. So that is, and I stopped playing before that. I just recall that being a thing when I opened. So that should give you a timeline of how long ago I played. Although that does mean we have this whole section of dead space. Do we... Are we going to adjust our layout for that? Because we cannot use this for ranching. Nor can we use like the area right below because it's smack dab in the middle of those. Of course we could... Hold on. The brain is functioning. We are making a separate section in the base. We could not have it aligned with the heights of our other rooms. So we'd have to move all this over again. But we'd have just be 4 high here and then 4 high here. And then we'd still have a section of dead space, but it would be a lot easier to plan around. Like we wouldn't have it be in the middle of 2 potential ranches. It's hard to devise those small mobs. Yeah, exactly. That is... But it might be better if I then... Yeah, have space to put space into space. Yeah. We might do that then. Yeah, so we're gonna have to lower this entire ranch. And we'd still have a bit of a dead area down here. We could do planting stuff here. We could do... I would prefer to have my sweep egg situation more to the right, but honestly, it doesn't have to be. We could put it to the left of here. Our incubator situation with an auto sweeper, and then we'd have it go... We'd stack it up here. We'd have it just go down here somewhere. Yeah, we can figure it out. I think. Yeah. So we're gonna do some adjusting. So much planning to be gone in 6 hours because you decided to move it all again. Yeah. So these guys will go here. You are going to get deconstructed. You guys will be deconstructed. We don't need this guy, right? This guy's fine to remove. Just this guy we need. And then we... Thank you for the follow. So let's see. We have this section here. So I'll lower this down. We'd have here and then I guess the bottom would just be 5 high. We could fit plants in there. It's fine. I mean, awake for more than a healthy time. I'll be showing back until the Unfrozen Maria carry from the planet. Or maybe the 150 new Ralston landers that were needed for mine. Yeah, a lot of followers, but not enough for me to start singing yet. You need like 5,000 for that. And I don't think that's feasible. I put that on a... I made that promise in the intent that you guys wouldn't be able to get there. I'm sorry. I just remember, since it's been a while since you played, you don't know about the Seeds mutation, right? And you don't know either the evil shovel... No, those both sound... I don't know about neither of that, no. It is shovel... I mean, I remember the old diggy guys, the ones that were very hard to contain. I guess we'll see as we go. So I'll put a guy there. We'll continue that then. Except that one. That's my timer for lunch. We will need to do a lunch break soon, but that will not be the... Or actually, no, that will go there, and then we go... all the way here. We'll need a thingy there. We'll want stuff there. All of you are gonna be gone. Remove you. Oh, and we have a new one of this. This is neat. Feels a little weird, but I do like... Okay, I haven't figured out how to make... Wait, can I? How would I make them wear down? Because for the buildings, I just click on them and I go to the blueprint one. Oh! Huh. Oh my goodness, we have a whole wardrobe thing. Look at him being a little lumberjack. I do think he looks good in blue. Then... Okay, how do I select the others? I can select the shirts. Okay, skirt. I see. That's what that does. Oh, that's a lot more customization. He's so happy. Ooh, skirts. Okay, I got green pants unlocked. And I got... And we have a lot of fancy... Okay. Yeah. Discard changes. We'll just keep them as usual. A little too many options. Yeah, you know of them at least. Oh, meteor showers? That's fine. They're underground. There. Maybe. Before you build this one, just grab that real quick. Or not. Okay, we are going to dig that up because I think we still have food overproduction. Like, by a lot. I'm gonna need to do a lunch break. And I guess this is as good as any moment because nothing is really close to finishing yet. I'm surprised that our... Like, maybe we could make this more effective if we widen it. But I don't want to, like, I don't want to mess with... Like, if it's broke, don't fix it, you know? So I don't really want to mess with what is working right now. Like, I accidentally made the perfect oxygen generator thing because there is such a thin layer of carbon dioxide that the polluted oxygen can always off-gas. And then, because it is... Now it can escape, but because it just then got immediately sucked up by this and then put out into the oxygen and could get really overpressurized. Yeah, I think we're going to take our break here. I won't be gone, like, we'll continue after I get back, but we'll save, go to the main menu, and we are going to go to the big screen. So for anyone not familiar, around this time, every stream, I take a 15-minute break because I need to eat lunch. But after lunch, I'll continue. And yeah, I hope you guys had fun so far. I know it's been a lot of planning and not a lot of building yet, but once we commit, we are committed. It's going to be a lot of pain to like change around, as you saw just now, and I just have to move it down too. So I really want to make sure, like, think about it and then commit. We're going to try and get our base split into hot and cold. And yeah, I think that's probably all we're going to be able to do today. I don't think we're going to be able to set up much else beyond that. I'll already be happy if we can get the split fully finished. Lunchtime, yes. Time for nummies. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'll see you guys in 15 minutes, alright? Bye-bye!